Let me be the judge. Let me be the judge. Hello.
Hi.
How are you?
I'm fine.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
What's your name?
I'm Helena. Helena Atta.
Helena Atta. Okay. And Helena, as usual, are you from this area?
Yeah, I was born and raised here.
Here in Takrady or within the vicinity?
Here in Takrady.
Which part of Takrady?
I've moved between number 1 and Chapel Hill, and now I'm back to number 1.
Yes. Okay. And what did you do with your friends in school? You were in Legon too?
Yes, I was in Legon too.
And what did you study?
I managed to sail to information studies and French.
Oh, all right. What do you mean by managed to save?
Yeah, because it wasn't easy.
No.
And I use the word sail too because the French, studying French as a language here in University of Ghana is very difficult.
Usually, the paradigm, if you study a foreign language outside that country, it's double jeopardy.
Oh, yes.
It's difficult because you only do it in the classroom, you come home, you go out, and it's not there. So it becomes dreadful. Yes. But what do you intend to do with that? Well, I know something. What I know is that the government is thinking that it's abnormally for us to be surrounded by French-speaking countries and we are not speaking French.
Yeah,
so if all the talk are going to be implemented, very soon we may need French teachers in all the schools. And at any level, I think they want to start at any level. So if that became possible, would you consider teaching?
Oh, yeah.
Because by that you will get a chance to practice and I will.
Yes, because for now I'm looking for the
Okay.
Because I think that would be the only way I can improve upon myself.
Alright.
And also, I think make it easier for the younger ones to at least appreciate the language.
Yes.
Because I realized that from the early stages, I had a very good French teacher in primary because he was the same person who took us from primary to JSS.
Okay.
But he wasn't good to some of my mates, if I should put it that way. Some of them are still, they ask, hey, Helena, you were able to sail through with Melesi. Hey, you've done well. You know, some people didn't have the same opinion as I did, but I think he did a very good job. Because, but for him, I wouldn't be here. Yes. And secondary school too, I was very lucky. Our French teachers were very good. If I was in the university, that was almost a disaster, if I should say, because not all the lecturers were behaving that way. And maybe they thought we should know more than we should at that level, and we didn't. I think that was
maybe they wanted to work less.
Normally, that's what they would say, that the students were lazy and all that. But in a way, yes, it's true. Considering how difficult the language was for us, studying it in this country. But they didn't help in making it any easier for us. Because when we got to the level 300 where we had to go for a year,
where did you go?
I went to France.
Oh, okay.
And my mates, some of them too went to Benin. And referring to what you said earlier about the government saying blah blah and all that. You see, when we come to the ground, it's a different story.
Yes.
Can you believe that when it was time for us to go for the year abroad, they said they normally take like 50 students because it's free and everything for Benin. And because we were more than that, it came to a point where some people had to forfeit their year abroad because, well, they could speak the language already and they felt it was not necessary because they said we were too many. So some of them had to, move. But here you are, the government will say you have to teach students that. But when you're on the ground, it's very difficult because just taking the student there to even learn, you are expecting them to some number when you already know the number existing in the class before that time. So some of us, so at our point, for us, most of us got a chance to travel. I think we were almost 40 that went to France. And over there, even though it was difficult for us, initially we couldn't understand most of it. Like, the first week, I was like, what is this man saying? But gradually we understood them, and they were very good teachers. I don't know, maybe because we were paying for them to teach us or something. I don't know if I should put it that way, but they were very good. They took us through, they simplified things for us, the text, everything, and they made us understand a whole lot. And we realized we knew so much, but we just didn't know how to use it. Because maybe a text in a grammar class or literature class, you just bring a short text of a book we have read already. And we're in classes with Chinese, Americans, and all that. And we were able to express ourselves and maybe answer, and we realized, so we knew all these things. But back here in Ghana, we felt like we didn't know anything. Because, I don't know, we're being taught with outdated, whatever, Montesquieu writings and all that. It was very difficult. And at the end of the day, you feel like you don't know anything. And when we came back, we realized at least we could express ourselves. Because initially, I couldn't speak the language. I could write, I couldn't speak. But over there, it helped us to, at least some of us, to come out of our shells and speak even with mistakes and everything. When we came back, we managed to, finish the course, and now I'm doing my service. Because I finished just last year.
Where are you doing it?
I'm doing it at STM.
STM?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
As a local government?
Yeah.
And no French there?
In fact, that was the reason why they took me on, because right before, I think just when the service started, they had a delegation from Ivory Coast. Yes, to study the waste, how we manage waste. Because they thought Sekenitapadi was very neat.
Okay.
We're coming to study how we manage it and everything. So I was called and went there, and at least I managed, because since I left school, it's like I haven't really done anything French. So I said, oh my God, I have to translate. I can't believe this. And it went very well. And
you remind me, I was going to ask you what you want to do in future, but then you remind me of my former teacher, Paul Ansa. I was taught by Paul Ansa, and I was also taught by another guy who finished secondary St. John's, did French, came back and taught us the. And what Paul Ansa did was, instead of staying on the language itself, he also studied culture and combined the language and the culture. So, especially since we are in the Guinea Coast, Côte d'Ivoire, Upper Volta, Upper Burkina Faso, Lomé, if you combine it with the culture of these people and French, then probably you could carve a niche for yourself, because you will not only be teaching French, but you will also be teaching the culture of our neighbors. You know, everybody has moved in this world, and maybe there was a time this boundary was not very fixed. So some of us are living here, some of us are living there, but we are the same people. If we study the culture around us, it may enhance our knowledge about how we have moved, you know, and you will be the expert on that subject. It shouldn't be difficult. Since you are bilingual, you will pick up what is in English and then try to see if it corresponds. Okay? All right. Now you introduce